Today we're unboxing Call of Cthulhu, the starter set. One thing I really like about this box is it's super thin. As you can see, it's like thinner than, it's like half the width of the normal boxes, the starter set boxes that you'd see. So let's have a look. What's inside? It's got book 1, an introduction and Alone Against the Flames, a solo introductory adventure. Teaches you the basics of Call of Cthulhu as you play through a mystery. Book 2 is a Call of Cthulhu's starter rules, the basic rules needed to starting play. Book 3 is adventures, so 3 starter adventures. 3 starter adventures, that's actually really good. Because most starter sets you get normally only have 1. So 3, that's fantastic. Yeah, you can play for a while. Ready-made investigators, 5 ready-made game characters. Blank investigator sheets, so you can make your own investigators. So there's obviously rules for character creation. Some starter sets, they don't give you the character creation rules. They just give you the like a couple of pre-made characters. So this one obviously is giving you, well, I assume it's giving you rules to be able to create an investigator as well. Otherwise, what would be the point of blank investigator sheets? Anyway, you get a bunch of dice and also some handouts to use as props. There's a picture down the bottom here which actually talks about it, and you can see some of the contents there, but we're going to have a look at those as soon as we open this box up. This is $24.99 in the US. I got it for $50 at a game store in Australia. So let's open it up now. Well, it is a good little box. It's nice and strong too. Yeah, good materials. And it's got a little stuff printer on the sides. Yeah, not that you really need to know about that stuff, but anyway, that's all good. What's in the box? There's your dice. It's a standard set of polyhedrals. I played Call of Cthulhu back in the 80s. And I can't remember all the different polyhedrals. I thought it was all percentages from what I remember, like percentage dice. But, you know, the dice are all right. They're a bit, you know, manky. I've seen better dice, but anyway, it's all good. What's in the box? I think we went through that earlier. It said read this first. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to do that. And that talks a bit about chaos. Just some advertising guff. This is the first book, Alone Against the Flames. It's 40th anniversary. I didn't know that. Oh, that was in 2021. Okay. That was 2 years ago. All right, don't worry about that. Forget about that. Okay. Yeah, right. Did you see this? I'm not going to go through the overview of the game. Yes, you do. You use all those dice and the percentage dice. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Dice variation. Yeah. It's all the same stuff. Next steps, play Alone Against the Flames. Well, we're not going to play Alone Against the Flames because that'll spoil it for people who want to play it. It's a solo adventure and obviously teaches you the rules as you play it. The art looks pretty cool. I like the layout. It's nice. Looks very old-fashioned. As you know, Call of Cthulhu is normally, not always, but normally set in the 1920s, the period of H.P. Lovecraft, who is the author of the Cthulhu mythos. Also a complete racist bastard, but we won't go into that. We'll just accept that he was very creative. And he created a wonderful mythos that lots of other writers have been able to play in, and we will excuse the fact that he was a complete tosser. Okay, book 2, introductory rules. What is Call of Cthulhu? Oh, that's some good art. I like that. I like books with cool art in it. That's great. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what Call of Cthulhu mythos is. You already know. It's a whole bunch of monsters and elderly, you know, otherworldly beings and all this sort of stuff, based on the premise that we're alone in the universe, you know, and that these aliens are out there and they're completely horrific and destructive and really don't like us at all. And there's lots of cults on Earth that worship them because we think, you know, they're better than us, that sort of thing. So it's got here how to create an investigator. Look, you can create one here. Strength, constitution, power, dexterity, appearance, size, intelligence, education. You allocate the following values: 40, 50, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 80. Each of these values is a percentage number, so decide to put 70 in your investigator's strength means they have a strength of 70%. Duh. Okay, that's pretty easy to work out. All right, half and fifth characteristic values. Looking at the investigator's sheet, you will see that there are 3 boxes next to each characteristic and skill. The first is noted as regular, and then 2 boxes the right-hand side is for the half value, and then the fifth value. Okay, so you got to work out a half and a fifth of whatever your characteristic is, and I assume they're used at some point during the, well, they must be used at some point during the game. So you got hit points, that's pretty average. Yeah, size and constitution added together. Damage bonus and build, that's extra damage your investigator inflicts for making a successful close combat melee attack. Sanity points. I remember sanity from the old game. Yeah, if your sanity points get down too low, you go crazy. Anyway, You've also got magic points, so you can cast spells and stuff, if you can cast spells, that is, if your character can. You've got luck. Calculate luck by rolling 3d6 and multiplying the result by 5. Okay. I assume you use those in situations where you just get to make... Oh, you go. Keeper asks for a luck roll to determine whether the keys are in the ignition. This is when Brian's he's fleeing a horde of zombies and jumps into a nearby car. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Occupation and skills. So you've got a couple of different sample occupations over here. You've got a whole bunch of skill descriptions here. Things like accounting, anthropology, appraise, archaeology. Now remember, the original game was set back in the 1920s, and I'm assuming this one is too. But I know that I'm aware that you can get versions of Call of Cthulhu and other Cthulhu-type games that play in different periods. But as far as I can see, this one's just basically all old-timey 1920s stuff. All right, skill descriptions: persuades, pilot, psychoanalysis, science, survival, swim, throw, blah, blah, blah. Okay, make up a backstory, do some final touches, fill out, there's your character sheet there. I'm sure we'll see that in a minute. Yep, 1920s era investigator. Game system, skill rolls. This is the meat of the games. Let's have a look. Skill rolls and difficulty levels. Regular task requires a roll of equal to or less than your skill value on a 1d100. Difficult task requires a roll result equal to or less than half your skill value. And a task approaching the limits of human capability requires a roll equal to less than 1/5 of your skill value, which is why we had to calculate the half and fifth earlier. So I get that now. All understandable. So you go. So basically, you've got regular success, hard success, and extreme success. Okay. So they're the sorts of things. You've got opposed skill rolls, which is basically you against someone else. Bonus and penalty dice you can add in, blah, blah, blah. What's it say? Yeah, you can grant. Okay, may grant a bonus or a penalty die to the roll. One bonus die or one penalty die cancel each other out. So a bit like advantage and disadvantage. Such bonuses and penalties operate in a similar way to raising the difficulty of a roll, but can be used instead of or in addition to an increased difficulty. Oh, I see. That's actually probably better than using your fifth and half. Just adding a die for if it's easier, or taking away a die if it's... Well, adding a penalty die, sorry, if it's worse. Okay, for each bonus die, roll an additional 10s percentage die alongside the usual pair of percentage dice. When making a skill roll, you are now rolling 3 separate dice, 1 unit's die and 2 tens dice. To take the benefit of the bonus, use the tens die that yields the better, and which is the lower result, and if it's worse, you take the higher result. So that's sort of like advantage of percentage dice. That's really good. I like that. That's good. Like rolls, we were talking about that earlier. Sanity. When do you lose sanity? Whenever an investigator encounters the horrors of the Cthulhu mythos or comes across something mundane yet horrific, such as stumbling across a friend's mutilated corpse, as you often do in these games, make a percentile roll against the investigator's current sanity score. If you roll over your current sanity, you lose a greater amount of sanity points. If you roll under, you will lose less or none. The sanity loss is generally described for an event as something like a number out of 1d6 or 2 out of 1d10. The number before the slash mark tells you how much sanity your character loses if the roll is equal to or under your current sanity score. The number after the slash is how much your investigator loses if you roll over their current sanity score. Ah, I see. So sometimes something might be more shocking than other things, and you'll receive more points of sanity, or, bad things, more points of bad sanity. I don't know how to word that. But obviously it gets worse if you roll higher, and it's better if you roll lower, which is basically in keeping with the percentage dice mechanic of the game. Bouts of Madness table. The keeper chooses or rolls 1d10. Amnesia, psychosomatic disability, violence. A red mist of rage descends on the afflicted investigator and they explode, not literally, in a spree of uncontrolled violence and destruction directed at their surroundings, allies and foes alike for 1d10 rounds. Oh, holy crap, you'd be worse than the monsters. Paranoia, significant person. Review the investigator's backstory entry for a significant people. The investigator mistakes another person in the scene for their significant person. Oh, okay. Faint, flee in panic, physical hysterics or emotional outburst, phobia or mania. Okay, that's cool. That's good. Combat, combat, pretty straightforward. I'm assuming you just roll under the dice, blah, 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 and there'll be modifiers based on range and stuff like that. Firearms rules. Readied firearms act at Dex plus 50 for the purpose of determining Dex turn order. Okay, so initiative and stuff as well. Yeah, right. Fighting maneuvers. You can disarm an opponent, knock an opponent to the floor, seize and hold an opponent, whereupon the opponent must apply one penalty to other actions until they can break free. Yeah, okay. Hit points, wounds, and healing. It's all pretty straightforward there. Other forms of damage: minor, moderate, severe, deadly. Ooh, with deadly, the average person has a 50% chance of dying. Hit by a car at 30 miles per hour, being 3 to 6 yards from an exploding hand grenade or a stick of dynamite or a strong poison. Terminal. Outright death is likely. One would hope so. Hit by why would you call it terminal? Hit by a speeding car, so 4d10 of damage. Hit by a speeding car, being within 3 yards of an exploding hand grenade or stick of dynamite, lethal poison. Splat. Outright death is almost certain. 8d10. Being involved in a high-speed head-on collision and being hit by a train. Yeah, fair enough. So that's the types, other forms of damage table. Rewards for success. Yeah. Next steps, blah, blah, blah. Quick reference Sharpie. Yeah, all right, nice. Okay, so that is really short. That's a good set of introductory rules. It not only tells you how to roll up your character really quickly, but the meat of the game, and it's really short. That's fantastic. And unlike some other games, which I have previously unboxed, I am speaking about the Alien starter set, it's not a 100-page book filled with lots of blank space. This one's full of stuff. There's full of info in there. That's good. Okay, 3 adventures. Paper Chase and other adventures. Paper Chase, oh, I remember Paper Chase. That was in the original game that I had a long time ago. So this must be like a remake of it. I'm not going to spend too much time on these. Oh, these are good. These are the ready-made investigators. Cool. Very nice. Excellent. Ooh, good art. Okay, well, I'm not going to spoil this because people want to play it, so we'll go through it really quickly. Oop, I'm already spoiling it because you can see. You can stop the video and see what's going on. Read it. No, we won't do that. We're just going to go through it. But the mere fact that there are 3, these are full adventures too. These are not just, you know, one of those, not just like a crappy starter adventure like you find in some of the starter boxes. These are like full-on adventures. That's nice. That's great. Yeah, got stats in there as well for the monsters. That's excellent. Yeah, we need that anyway because you don't have them in the full book, in the little book. Wow, this is good. Yeah, map of Harlem. That's cool. Yeah, nice. Yeah, they've even got photos and other resources and stuff like that. Now, I'm assuming from what the box said, they're going to have copies of this stuff in the bottom of the box. I'll get to that in a second. But they look really good. I mean, they're really laid out nicely. That tells you a bit about. That's an ad. We'll do that. Okay, this is. Oh, look, these are the investigators. So you get to use these ones. You want to use the preset ones. Or you can, that looks like Indiana Jones. All right, no worries, that looks like Alfred from Batman. I'm sure it's not though. Or maybe it was before he became a butler. Anyway, what do we got here? These are blank sheets. Good, there's heaps of those. That's all right. That's pretty good. They're pretty simple, straightforward sheets too. Oh, handouts. And there's a lot of them. There's a stack of them. Look at these. Man, I'm probably going to run this live just to use these handouts because they're freaking awesome. And then my players' grubby little hands will make them all messy. Don't get your grubby little hands on them. Maybe I can put them. I'll get them in. I'll put them in that plastic or whatever. I don't know. Don't be silly, Steve, you idiot. Just let them make them dirty. Fair dinkum. All right. Okay. That's all the handouts. There's lots of handouts. They're great. So every handout in the adventure is provided as a separate single page glossy sheet. That's bloody cool. You know the back. Do I check? No, it's all blank. Okay. All right, that's awesome. That's a really great starter set. So if you want to get into Call of Cthulhu and you're looking for a way to do it, but you don't want to invest in the big book, which is horrendously expensive, then you can find this kit, which is almost as horrendously expensive because I think the book's like $80, and if you buy this, it's like $50. So really, if you paid another $30, you get the book. But either way, that is really cool. That's good, and with this fantastic thin box, that's amazing. All right. Oh well, you can make your own call about what you want to do with that. That's Call of Cthulhu, the starter set.